might be in another graph, but actually here's an abstract type and it could be in 20 graphs. And so you have to compute every possible way this field could be loaded. And the unfortunate reality is this computation, it's a CPU bound task. We cannot just like speed it up in some magical way. We need to compute that. And then this is a limitation of federation. And the solution to this problem is, if you know ahead of time that you have a very complex query on your landing page, then you should have something like a cache warmer. And we also have a process with persisted operations where when you deploy your front-end application, you can actually register all operations. So you can tell our backend, hey, I'm building an app and it has this query, it needs to be warmed up. So you can tell us ahead of time, and then you will never have a customer waiting for that query.
First of all, I think that explanation was absolutely brilliant. And one of the coolest things that I absolutely love about working with such technical folks like yourself and building this company is that we get to see deep into consumer-facing applications, and we get to see what actually happens behind the scenes. And let's abstract a little bit away from the tech. From the business side, what is the impact of slow performance on the company? So, for example, they launched this ad on the Super Bowl, and if you guys remember, Jens, you might not remember this, but Coinbase, they did an ad with just a floating QR code, and that was the entire ad, and a bunch of people scanned it, and so many people at the Super Bowl scanned it that they crashed the website. Let's say the website doesn't crash, but it's slow. Like, what are the business impacts of slow performance times that the pre-warming cache offers for like the business impact?
I think I don't have to teach business people that, especially if you're in areas like e-commerce or something, like every second counts in terms of people abandoning the website or something. So latency or high latency means you lose sales. As simple as that. You lose customer conversion. So it's super important. And that's, sorry to drift back to the technical side, but I want to emphasize on one thing, because I keep seeing discussions around REST versus GraphQL and REST versus federation and other things. And well, one thing that is, I think it's very important to talk about, because sometimes I hear people say like, yeah, but we can do it with REST and it will be faster and so on and so forth. The reality is, and this is like, it took me very, very long to kind of conclude this, but if you have a website that does what we just described and it's using REST APIs, it is very likely that you are not fully aware what kind of REST API calls this website does until it's fully functional. Versus you have a federated GraphQL query and you're now complaining about like, hey Jens, why does it take 10 seconds to plan? And the thing is, with federation, we are fully aware of the complexity to load this page